Have you ever wondered about how moving your biggest pour in your recipe changes the taste of your cup? Because most recipes, they focus on how many pours you're going to do or what pour style you're going to do. And what if we start shifting pours around? And what I mean by that is there's usually one big pour in every recipe, unless you're doing something like Shoebox's QC recipe, which is 4 even 50-gram pours. There's usually one big one. So what happens when I play around and I move that pour to different spots in the brew? So that's what I'm putting to the test today, and that's what this video is going to be about. And this video is part of my Real or Ritual series, where I test different ideas, different theories, different things that just interest me, or just silly things that I just want to know. And I've either never tried or have heard about and want to try. And before you get all crazy in the comments like some of you have before, it's not that serious. I'm just a guy in my kitchen having fun, testing stupid ideas, and just loving coffee and enjoying life. So if that sounds like something you're interested in, go ahead and subscribe, because we have many more coming. If you're watching this, I assume that you know coffee is not just one flavor. Coffee is made up of hundreds of different compounds and different flavors that give you the taste that you experience in your mouth. Like fragrances and mouthfeels and acidity, florals, all of these things, how long it lingers on your tongue, all of these things make up what you are tasting and what you experience. All of those flavors and compounds, they dissolve at different speeds. Some dissolve very quickly, some need more time or more heat or more water, or all the above. With each pour, we're bringing in a fresh round of water, so we're continuing to extract the coffee. And by moving your biggest pour earlier or later in your brew, we are changing when the coffee gets its biggest boost in extraction. Basically, I'm testing the old idea, which is acids first, sugars second, and bitters last. In theory, I'm moving the largest pour to see if I can emphasize different parts of the extraction. And I want to see if there is a noticeable difference, but most importantly, I want to know what it tastes like. So for this test, we're going to be doing 3 cups like usual, and it's going to be a 12-gram recipe. It's going to be 40 grams of water for the balloon. Well, I guess it's going to change, huh? So it's going to be a 40-40-120 variation. And I don't normally pour that for my 12-gram recipe, but I'm trying to really exaggerate that big pour. And one of these will be a 40-120 40-gram recipe. One of them will be a 40-40 recipe, and the other will be a 120-40-40. So I'm excited to see what the experience is going to be between them. So I'm going to brew them up, and then we will taste them. These guys are spray. Hot start. Okay, the brews are done. They all finished around the 2-minute mark. There were some very noticeable differences, obviously. The biggest one being that the 120 pour, because of how much water was in the bloom, I did a 120 ml bloom. There's a ton of crust or just coffee sitting up on the filter, so I did have to kind of rinse the filter off a little bit, which with a cone filter, there might be a little more bypass than I would like. However, that's part of the differences that you're going to have to take into account when you're doing these different recipes or different pour styles with this recipe. And overall, the coffee beds look very similar. I mean, this one, obviously this one, let me just get a video so I can show you guys. So this was the 40-120-40. This one was the 40-40-120. And then this one was the 120-40-40. And that one I had to rinse a lot more. So let's get them cupped and get the same temperature, and then we can do a tasting. All right, we have them all cupped. Temps are the same. For this, I'm not really trying to find a better or worse cup of coffee or worst cup of coffee. So I just want to try them as they are to see how different they are versus trying to see if one is better than the other. And because obviously recipes and taste is all subjective, but I'm gonna grab a towel. I am going to start with smelling them and see if I can notice any aroma differences, and then we will start to taste them. So let's start smelling first. Okay. Oh, this is Onyx's Geometry coffee, by the way. The coffee's Onyx Geometry. So coffee I've had plenty of times. It's a very accessible coffee. So if you want to recreate this or try it on your own or just get a good coffee, that's what we're drinking today. Noticeable difference between these two. Let me give this a stir. Okay. This one smells sweeter. This one smells acidic actually. Like I feel like there's like acidity jumping out at me. I don't even know what that. Take what you want from that. This just kind of smells flat. All right, we'll just go left to right. So I have a spoon. I'm going to be sipping You've Been Warned. That's nice. This is a brighter cup. Also nice. Not as balanced as that, but that cup's just kind of flat, muted compared to these two. This was the 120, so that kind of, it's not too shocking considering all of the extraction happened right in the beginning, which isn't ideal. It just kind of pulls out all those fast compounds that you can dissolve really quickly, and then the later two just don't get enough contact time, I think. Oh, that's nice. This was the 40-120-40. This one was the 40-40-120. Ooh, all right, let me give him one more on this guy, benefit of the doubt. Yeah, just kind of meh. It's not bad, but it's definitely not good. It's not remarkable. Like I wouldn't want to drink that every day. One of these two, I wouldn't mind. I think I'm leaning towards this one. I like that one more. All right, let me get some sips on them, and then I will give my final thoughts and conclusions. Man, this one is just, this coffee itself is just, it's light and very enjoyable. Man, that has some nice pop to it. When you first sip this one, it kind of comes on smooth. It's round essentially in the experience. This one kind of starts off strong and then kind of tapers. The flavors are better on that cup though. That's nice though. And then let's get one sip on this guy. Yeah, just kind of It's not bad. I wouldn't say it's like a much less sweeter cup or it doesn't have as good flavor. It still has flavor. It's just not as pronounced. Yeah, it's just kind of, it's okay. Yeah, it's okay. This guy though, it's more vibrant. That cup is more vibrant. Yeah, this one has stronger flavor. It's a good experience. I'd say this one is my favorite of the three. I mean, it's very clear there is a noticeable difference in these coffees. I figured there would be. How could there not be when you're dumping that much water in one certain section of the brew? I can tell you, starting off with a huge fat bloom at 120 grams of water is not it. That's for sure not it. One of these, I think people will have different preferences on this. I prefer this one. If you like a sweeter, rounder experience, you'll probably prefer the 40-120-40 version. If you like kind of more bright acidity and punchy right off the bat, then maybe a 40-40-120 is for you. So I'm curious, I'm glad I scratched that itch, and the curiosity for myself has been solved. If you want to try something like this at home, I absolutely encourage you to just kind of get a better understanding of what is happening in your recipe and with your pours and your pour structure. And if you enjoyed that, please subscribe. If you want more, there's more coming, or check out the channel, and I appreciate you watching. I'll see you guys next time.